saying hi to y'all because I ain't been here in a while. Vonda, where you at? Come on in and say hi to me, girl. Anyway, I ain't want nothing, y'all. I was sitting up and I was actually doing a little work because I am in a process of selling myself. That don't sound right, do it. Like I'm selling myself. Anyway, y'all, I ain't doing much. I was just thinking about y'all. I said I ain't been to YouTube in a while, so maybe I should yeah, this microphone don't even work. Why I just pulled it close. I said I ain't been to YouTube in a while, so let me come on here and say hi and tell y'all the latest in my life. I know y'all ain't asked me, but who am I not to tell y'all? But yeah, so let me come on in and see what everybody else doing. Who's in here today? Come on in and say hi to me. Pull up a seat, sit down, let's talk about it. And I could go through different topics, so we don't have to be on no certain one. But we can talk about it. I am rather bored. Rather bored I am. And wouldn't mind some company. I was on TikTok earlier today and they were doing this thing on TikTok called um Michael, the lasagna was horrible. The lasagna was horrible. It was horrible. Oh my God, it was horrible. I hope she don't hear me. But the lasagna was horrible. Yeah, my cousin made me some lasagna. And that's what I get for begging because truth be told, she didn't offer me no lasagna. I was on my way to eat. I was taking my aunts to dinner and she was like, "Oh, y'all should let me know because I made lasagna." And I said, "Well, I tell you what, we'll stop by on the way back and get some lasagna." And I didn't even have to do that. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, I ate it. But the only reason I ate it was because I hadn't cooked today, so I had no other choice but to eat it. But it wasn't the best lasagna ever. But again, I hope she doesn't hear this. I hope she doesn't hear it. I know. So anyway, I was on social media earlier. I was on TikTok earlier, and I was looking at what's the name of that? Hillsman Talk. Hillman Talk. And it's like a Michael, I can't help it. I'll be trying to be right. Hillman Talk on TikTok is like a black virtual HBCU that is not accredited, that is not a real HBCU. That was something somebody came up with. But it's a lot of black people who are knowledgeable in whatever they're knowledgeable in that's coming on TikTok. Like I'm gonna make my TikTok, it's gonna say my aunt making my dog go to bed. Hold on. Hush that fuss. Get in here, lay down. Get up here, lay down. And stay. I'm sorry, guys. Don't leave me. But you just discovered my YouTube live because I don't be on it much. I be trying, but I don't be on it much. But anyway, so it's a lot of I'm talking about Hillman Talk. That is the black social media HBCU. That's not really a HBCU. But but believe it or not, this microphone is not even plugged up because I'm not on my other phone and I have this microphone for y'all. Why I just can't just shut up sometime and let the microphone be the microphone, right? This microphone goes to my big camera. I have two big cameras that are not set up at this time. And I didn't feel like setting them up because I didn't even know I was going to go live. But yeah, so this is just it's just a prop. it's it's just a prop. That's all it is. Okay, guys, that's all this is right now. Um, but no, so uh Hillman Talk HBCU on TikTok is something that a young lady by the name of Dr. Barlow's she came up with. And being that it is Black History Month as well, so it's no time like the present. And I don't care that they took Black history away. We should always be teaching one another about Black history, but to set it aside to be February, I'll continue on what they started. But so the Black Hillman, I mean the Hillman Talk, you have a put that in TikTok hashtag Hillman Talk, one word. And on there, you'll see a bunch of different Black people. A lot of them are educated. A lot of them are just specialized in whatever they do. Like I specialize in social media monetization and building communities on social media. But if you go on there, it's like whatever. Like they got a whole lot of different like Hillman professors right now. It sound weird, but they got a whole lot of people that got Hillman professors. So if you want to know something like in our world, now I know y'all clear folks in our world too, and don't let me drive y'all away because I'm grateful to have y'all here with me. But I said I'm going to make me a video. Thank you. I'm going to make me a video, and I'm gonna be your social media monetization professor. I said, hell, I already got the book made. I already got everything made. I ain't worked in 5 years on a 9 to 5. I've been clocking into social media for the last 5 years. I said, so hell, I might as well keep up the flow. I might as well let other people know, even though I always try to tell other people about social media, but a lot of people don't take it serious. Social media has afforded me to stop working my 9 to 5. Social media has afforded me to fix my credit. Social media has afforded me to pay off my house early. It has afforded me to travel. Like social media has really afforded me to do a lot of things that I wasn't able to do, whether it was because of finances or rather it was because of time. You know, when you got a job, you don't get to take a 14-day trip. You don't get to take an 8-day trip, a 3-day trip. You know, you got to take the time that's allowed to you. Well, in my field, you didn't because I wasn't higher up the rankings. And actually, with social media, it was like the most money I made so far. Avonda, I hollered at you when I first came in and says, but yeah, happy Monday to you. But no, so I'm gonna go on TikTok and I'm gonna let the TikTok world know. And I did tell them where the book is at on TikTok, norapotts.com. And y'all gonna start seeing because I told all them folks at TikTok to come over here and talk to me on YouTube because the YouTube videos could be longer than the ones on TikTok. So y'all don't let me lose y'all. Y'all stay with me. Those of you who like some of the stuff I do now, stay with me because some of that will still be popping up. But for those of you who just really want to know how to monetize your social media, I'm your girl. But I said I was gonna be talking about a lot of stuff in the next coming weeks. And when I say a lot of stuff, thank you. Thank you, Lana Judah. I took my glasses off so y'all know I can't see. Fear, peace, baby. But no, I said I'm gonna be talking about a lot of stuff. I was talking on Facebook earlier, and I said I'm in a pickle to find my purpose. Yeah, like it's up in the air. And you know, before I knew my purpose was to be a mother. I knew, you know, what I had to do. But now that I no longer have children at home, I don't work anymore. It's like, okay, what is your purpose now? Before I was working in a hospital and I knew that, you know, when I come into the hospital room, because I was a CNA, but when I come into the hospital room, you know, I felt a sense of purpose when I dealt with different people in the actual healing process and see people go from bad to good, you know, or either in the dying process where I had to comfort them and Thank you, Vonda, and hold their hands. No more like divine water, fine wine. Oh, thank you. But I knew before I had to comfort people and like hold their hands, or either when I worked in the church, people would come in and I would have to pray for people, and I would have to. So I'm like, I kind of scattered away from the things I used to do, and now I'm at the point of what is my purpose. And Vonda on here, she just asked, how's my auntie? I am a caregiver for my auntie. At this moment, she's 81 years old, and I have been blessed. God has given me one of his own to take care of. And I just pray that I keep it together, because some days are bad, when you're talking about the elderly. And some days are just good. Some days are good. Today is a good day. But some days are real bad. So I have been challenged with the task. And I don't even know if I should say challenge, but with the task of caring for my auntie. Vonda, my aunt is doing great today. I was just telling somebody we had some lasagna earlier. Somebody made us some lasagna and it was god awful. When I say god awful, it was awful. But so in the process of finding my purpose, I was talking and saying that the different things that I probably will touch base on, like dating in your 50s. You know what I mean? Dating in your 50s. Hello, Derek. Um, but yeah, that dating in your 50s. That's one of the hardest things. Tony said, I feel like you should travel different places, showing your lovely fashion of clothing. Uh, so, Tony, yes, travel is a good thing, but the actual fashion part, like I do fashion, don't get me wrong, but I don't spend no money. Like, so if I could show y'all me going into like a Goodwill or something, but just to be spending money, like I'm not a purse freak, I'm not a shoe freak, I'm not a jewelry freak, like I'm none of that. So I'll have to do a lot of Goodwill shopping, and although I might, be a fashion when I go places, but on a normal day, this dress right here and some flip flops, cause I live in Florida. So to do all that extra dressing up, I really don't be doing that. Most of the time when y'all see me dressed up, it be because I'm going somewhere, or either I'm modeling somebody's clothes in their clothing store. But I really don't be dressing up like that. Mm-mm. Oh no, you good, Tony? You good? So yeah, so that'll be a couple of things I'll talk about. Dating in my 50s, and I always say there's a lot of good men out there. So I don't want to knock a man at all. Thank you, Michael. I don't want to knock a man at all, because I've met some really, really, really great guys. But sometimes I believe that I might be in my own way. I'm so stuck in my ways at times that, how you're so used to being single. And once I, got rid of my kids, I didn't. Peace to you too, Darnell. Once I got rid of my kids, I ain't gonna say got rid of them. Once they moved out my house, it was like, okay, now I can date, because I really didn't do dating when my children was coming up, because I didn't want men over my kids. So I think that's where I got stuck at a lot in life, being single, being the head of my household, being such a strong woman. And I'm not going to say a strong black woman, I'm just going to say a strong woman, because I had to be everything to my children. You know what I mean? Thank you, Vonda. But I had to be everything. So I think that settled in my spirit. So it's kind of making it hard for me to date, because I'm so used to being in charge. And on top of that, I'm an Aries, but I'm so used to being in charge that sometimes I find it hard. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. But sometimes I find it hard to actually date and be submissive and to let a man lead. I don't want that to be my problem, but if I'm speaking honestly, you know what I mean? I think that's my problem. You know, sometimes I don't know when to scale back, when to be quiet, you know, when to let the man take over this situation because I'm so used to having to do it by myself. I'll take that, Jacob. But yeah, so it disturbs my peace when I hear women say there are no good men out there. But I do meet some good ones, and sometimes we as women, we mess it up. We mess it up bad. We mess it up bad. Now that last relationship I was in, I ain't messed that up. Now that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I ain't about to tell the man business, but I'm gonna tell you that wasn't me. I mean, now he might be good for somebody. He just wasn't good for me. Because a lot of insecurities come to play, and I can't do insecurities because insecurities are lined up with low self-esteem with me, and I don't do too well with people with low self-esteem. Hey, Mr. Hemisphere. Well, thank you. Oh, thank you. Don't tell me that, Michael. I believe you. Ooh. The big says never me. Nah, it might be me. Nah, that last relationship, it wasn't me. But I have destroyed some relationships. I'm not gonna act like I didn't, you know, and I'm quick to shut down. Like when I see red flags, when I see something that disturbs my spirit, I'm quick to bail out. Like it's almost like a guard my heart type thing. Just put this shield over it, and if they break it, I don't have no time. Heartbreaks are real setbacks to me. To me. You have to trust to be led, and it's easy to trust. No, in the hell it ain't. Let me see. I can't read. D-Mag, would you say I can have my way? I don't want no man to just let me have my way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying fight against me, but you know what I mean? I am so, oh, not easy to trust. Okay. I am so dominant that I ain't gonna lie to you. It's kind of like a turn on when I meet a man that actually knows how to relax me, knows how to take that feminine trait out me. And I ain't gonna say trait because I'm a female, but to bring it out and let me lay all that brute to the side, you know, all that independent woman type thinking. And I don't think like that, but that's the best way I can describe it. But to lay all that to the side and have a man to just say, relax. You know what I mean? I like a man to be able to tell me to relax. Damn relax, Tisa. You don't have to be in charge of everything. So like I said, a lot of times I find myself trying to be in charge of things that I don't need to be in charge of. I don't need to be in charge of at all. But I still yet find myself trying to be that person. And Jacob, that is so true. So Jacob say he believed that I'm gonna pull this up on here so I can read it better. But Jacob said that he believes that when we spend too much time being single, we fall into like a selfish mode. You are more stubborn than dominant. But really, I am more stubborn than dominant, and I'm more stubborn than dominant. But Jacob said we tend to be in a selfish mode, and I have had to deep conversation with myself about being so selfish. Like I've had to, question myself, like, why are you like this? And you don't notice that you're really selfish until you notice that you're really selfish. I called my friend girl up the other day and I said, I think I'm selfish. A young man pointed it out to me, and I really think that I'm selfish. And that's not always good for me. Okay, here we go. What do you say? I believe that when you spend too much single, and you stuck in your ways, you tend to be a bit selfish because you want things the way your way. He typed broken, y'all, so he got to be younger than me. Yet if things are gonna work out, it has to be a partnership, and that's my problem right now, Jacob, is to learning how to be a partner. Okay, so Jacob, if I have to take, so Jacob said, I still got a little work to do. He said, because even if I didn't play a part in what caused the breakup, um, in my last relationship, it's still my fault. Well, it ain't just my fault now. I got a part in it. I don't have, but what I will say, because you allowed that in your life, Sweat. Okay, at the end of the day, accountability is the door to growth. Okay, so once I read the rest, then I understand. But yes, I did allow it in my life. So I am at fault because only I have control over this space right here, over my space. So you are truly, for real. D-Max, I don't see a problem. Not about Jacob, dear. Biggs, do I date outside my race? Give me 1 second. Biggs, give me 1 second to answer that. So, Jacob, when you say I was a part of my last situation's problem, I can believe that because once you show me an insecurity, that stubborn part of me, that dominant side of me, um, it's almost like and it shouldn't be this way, but it was like he showed me a weakness that was a real weakness, and he kept bringing a weakness to the table. And the weakness was I made more money than him. The weakness was I was on social media and he didn't like the different attention that we got anywhere we went, and it was always um accusing me of entertaining men, which I wasn't entertaining men. It was just that I had a big following, and no matter where I went, and not to be big headed, but wherever we go, it was somebody that knew Nora Potts. Sometimes people stood back and didn't say nothing, and they would, text me or something on social media and be like, "Hey, I just seen you in T-Mobile, but your boyfriend was with you and he looked mad." So I didn't say anything. So things of sort, but I didn't. I'm not that kind of woman that, which I should be, but I never pampered his ideals, his insecurities. When he had them, I let him eat them. Like, I'm not about to explain everything to you. I mean, I am who I am. We are who we are. Either you're gonna deal with it or not. So it was my fault to a degree, but I did not have time to stroke his ego or either explain every interaction that he didn't like. So yes, I gotta agree that it was somewhat my fault. Um, Biggs said, "Do I date outside my race?" Biggs, I dated a Spanish guy for 3 or 4 years. Now, hold on, let me back up. So I met a white guy one time. No, he wasn't no nonchalant person, Michael. He was not nonchalant at all. He was very nice looking guy. Very nice looking guy. And his approach to me was very old school. I like that about him. Um, but dominant man. But maybe I think some dominant men are not dominant. They act dominant and they put off that dominant act, but in reality, you can't keep it up long. So he wasn't nonchalant at all. Um, no, he wasn't nonchalant at all. He was very verbal about how he felt. It wasn't a good verbal. He didn't know how to communicate well. He communicated out of anger. Um, and then he was a drinker, and I'm not a drinker. So his alcohol would take him to a different level, or either if we went out, like he would always want me to hold a drink. I'm like, dude, I'm not drinking. And he was like, yeah, but you look like he always thought I didn't look like I belong if he's in a place where people are drinking. Like we went to a family gathering one day and the family was drinking and I wasn't drinking. Not saying I don't drink, but I probably have 3 drinks a year, 4 drinks a year. And this wasn't one of the times that I wanted to have a drink. So, that was a problem. But a lot of things became a problem. Thank you, Dean. Um, I'm a brother, honey. I like that side of you already. Thank you. But back to this race thing. So I'm going to say at this very moment, no, I don't date outside my race. I'm going to say I met a white guy when I was in my late 20s. I was living in Orlando and I met this white guy he was cool as hell. Like I'm a ghetto chick, y'all. I'm ghetto as hell. But he was real cool and everything. But it was just something about him that I couldn't flow with. You know what I mean? I couldn't flow with it. And then it was like my lips was bigger than his lips, and his lips was like really tiny. So like one day he went to kiss me, and it was like I felt like it didn't feel like a kiss. I need somebody to match my lip energy. You know what I mean? To match my lip energy. And his lips wasn't matching my lip energy. But that ain't all that stopped it. So I was watching back in the days, I'm about to tell my age. I was watching Maury Povich, and he had a guy on there from Orlando, and there was a white guy who was going around. He was from Winter Garden, but that's like right outside of Orlando. But he was going around giving black women in Orlando and Winter Garden HIV, but he was using a different name. So I got scared because this guy was from Winter Garden. So I said, oh, hell. So when I found out he was from Winter Garden, and so that ended it with the ideal of a white guy. So I never dated a white guy, but then I dated a Spanish guy. Spanish guy was cool as hell at first as for a friend. And he sold drugs. And back in the days, that was like my people of interest. And he just was rude. Like he wouldn't come home. He wouldn't come home at night. He'd come home, put money on the dresser, and feel like I was supposed to be okay with it. Everybody was in front of me. Like I just haven't had really good relationships with. And I only had really one relationship where I was probably intimate. Probably I was intimate, but one with the opposite, not the opposite sex. I'm only straight. Only one with a person of a different race. Yeah, only one. Thank you. Good evening, Jesse. But yeah, so just one Spanish guy I ever dated, but that one Spanish guy made me not want to date a Spanish guy again. And the one guy, the white guy, made me not really want to do. Now I did meet a white guy in the club one night, and he was so sexy. When I say so sexy, he was so sexy. He was like 6'4". He had like a good. He wasn't big. He wasn't small. He was just like the right size. And he was a white boy. He looked like he had cowboy boots on. I don't remember, but this is just what I picture in my head. Cowboy boots on, nice. I don't know, just something about him. It was so nice. But when we got outside the club and he was talking to me, and he told me he was married, and he was married to a black girl. But just the idea that guy really turned me on in my spirit. But no, I never dated outside my race other than that. I don't have no more race stories to tell y'all either, but I haven't really dated outside my race. And I don't think I will. It's something about a strong black brother, you know what I mean? It's something about a black man It is just something about a black man. You know, I don't know. I'll never say never that I won't date outside my race, but at this moment in time, I can't see myself doing it. But ain't nothing like that chocolate. Boy, I tell you something about that chocolate. Pray for me, boy. It's something about that chocolate. Our dark chocolate, white chocolate. Well, not white chocolate. Well, white chocolate is still chocolate, but I just don't like white chocolate. It can't be too white of a chocolate. Yeah, it can't be too white. But anyway, let me see what I got going on here. So y'all, I got this on my computer because I can't see this far. But let me see. The weakness. Oh, I missed a whole lot of stuff. Jacob said, well, you making more money than any man you may date is irrelevant because at the end of the day, you know there's someone by your side just in case you need help. That's not really a weakness. No, that's not a weakness, but that's what he's seen it as. And I asked him one day, I said, look, is that what makes you who you are? Like money don't make me. Like I'm gonna be Nora Potts with or without money. You know what I mean? You're gonna be Jacob with or without money. So I asked him, can you be who you are without money? And he said he has no leverage. I'm like, leverage? Like, so when we broke up, he actually told me that he's going to date someone that needs him. And I said, well, why you don't think I need you? Like, but I didn't make no big deal about it because it was a problem because I got my house redone. I paid my house off 6 years early. I got my house, my floors redone, the outside, the landscape, and changed all the appliances and things out. Not the appliance, but like the AC and the water system. And he said that I didn't need him, and he didn't like it. I wish I could tell you something different. Um, where am I? You're only dominant in the bedroom. Well, a man got to be dominant in something. Not dominant to a point of being, and I'm talking about sevenly, not dominant to a point where you are overbearing or people can't tolerate dealing with you. But a man got to be a man. Like I want, I want a man to be a man. It's as simple as that. And not saying boss me around, not saying, but when I'm with you, I want to know that I feel a sense of smallness, a sense of humbleness, a sense of I can relax, I can lay back. He got this, and not got this financially, but just got this in every aspect of a man that I could possibly imagine. And got this in the point of if you're dating a social media, a social media influencer, social media being I am on social media, I want you to be secure with who you're dating. Like if I'm dating you, I'm dating you. I don't care how many people in my inbox. I don't care how many people say hello to me. When I'm with someone, I'm with someone. And I don't want a person, if I do something strange to make you feel like I'm tiptoeing but just don't feel insecure because of the amount of attention that I got. And most people now, when you meet me, I'm going to tell you I'm on social media because usually that scares people away. So either you're going to stay or you're going to go. A lot of men don't want to date a woman on social media, and I can understand that. So, um, old school for real from G.I. Mike Jackson, hometown. I'm from Grand Rapids. D-Mag. The weakness was not being secure with himself, not being confident. That right there can cause problems because of insecurities that will bring jealousy. And with that comes a lot of toxicity. And that's what it was. That's what it was. We would break up and get back together and break up and get back together. And he would apologize and nothing would change. Like it was Mm-mm. What am I reading? Hold on, let me go back up, y'all. I'm slower than y'all. That's how I feel about. Oh, you feel that way about sisters too? Thank God, no more outside your race stories. Tony, are you outside my race? Um, but yeah. Hello, the boss. The boss. The problem is you need to hit the reset button because it seems like you have a pattern on the men you choose. They may look different, but they're all the same in a sense that they still have the mindset. So the funny thing, Jacob, is I don't date. Um, Seven say he always wanted to date a black girl. The brother's been married to a black girl for 20 years. It's easy to date a black girl, Seven. There's a lot of women, black women that date white men. My sister was married to one for 15, 16 years. She's married to a white man. Her kids are from white guys. A white guy, not white guys, but a white guy. Um, so you have motivated yourself to realize your wealth and beauty. That's good energy. Okay, so let me back up to thank you, Tony. But let me back up to the type of men that I meet. No, I do not meet men like that because I really don't date. Men don't come on to me every day. So it's not like I got this big pool of men that's just waiting outside and I can just dive in and grab a man out and throw him back when I'm tired. No, I don't get offered dates. Now don't let social media fool you. Anybody can sit behind a keyboard and type up something and say, "Oh, I want to date you. I'll marry you." You hear that? It just sounds redundant. Like it reads just like the last message did on Messenger. So until that person probably can, walk up to me, touch, hey, Nora, I follow you, this, that, and other. Can we go out? Just reading it on social media, if you kind of see my inbox, it all looks the same, just a different name. So it's hard to meet people on social media for me. Um, and Michael, that is so right. It's the little things, holding the door for you, pulling up your seat at a restaurant. And thank you, exceptional. And Avani, that's what it is. He knew money, it was no leverage. But so just the little things. And even like I dated a guy for like 10 years, my last boyfriend. And we were friends after that, but I dated him and he wouldn't, like, how your girl be in the kitchen and you come up behind her and touch her butt, or either you rub down her side or kiss her on the neck. He didn't do that. For like 10 years, I had no affection. And one of my love languages is touch. And he didn't do it. And I don't know why, but he didn't. So those are the types of things that I feel like being a man, just I don't know, it's the touchy, it's the feel, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. And I won't go into the bedroom, but even in the bedroom, like there are certain things that men do in the bedroom that kind of give you a not women can do it too, don't get me wrong, but I like to know everybody got control in the bedroom, but sometimes you just like to know your man got control. Even if you in a position where you're in control, just every now and then for him to show you, even while you up there doing your thing, that he's still in control. But I ain't gonna take this conversation there. So things like that. Nora, where have you been? I've been right here, Bobby. I've been right here. You mean dominant in the sense of feeling safe, exactly. Or when you're around him, he takes care of you and what you need. Yeah, and make you happy, secure. That's exactly what I'm saying. Seven Lee. My little sister Danette, she was married to Vonda. I'm talking to you. Her husband is her ex-husband. Um, she was married to him for like 15, 16 years. She was with him a good while. And her kids are from him. Thank you, Michael. Tony, that's unbelievable. Seeing you in person, men don't try to speak to you. I wish that was true. and unbelievable. But no, I don't get approached by men that often. And I don't. I had a young man one time. I was at a Haitian gala or something, and I was by myself. I went by myself. I sat alone, and when I left out, I got a text message. I was in my car, and I got a message on Messenger, and the young man said, "I just seen you in the gala, and can we go out one day?" And I didn't even respond to it because I felt like if you seen me, and I was there a long time, and it's not like I just got up and walked out. So you could have came and said something, and it was obvious that I was alone, but you felt better and it felt more secure about getting a no on social media or on the internet. You know what I mean? And that kind of that don't sit well. But no, I don't get men approaching me. Now, if a man approaches me, he says, "Nora, I follow you on social media or I follow you on Instagram." Very rarely do I get asked out. So a young man that I have the fancies for right now, he's seen me at an Omega conclave back in June. And when he walked up to me and say, "Hey, Nora Potts." And, it still surprises me when people say my name in strange places. So I said hi, and he said, "Can we take a picture?" And we took a picture. So a lot of times I get that, "Can we take pictures?" And then he continued on the conversation. And actually, he didn't even continue it in a sense of getting to know me, but we just became friends. And that's how we've been. But it wasn't like he came on to me. Like, people don't come on to me, baby. They don't. Jacob says, yes, some men are like that. They are closed off, so they don't want to show that they may call weakness, but a real man would be affectionate, insecure, affection, insecure with himself to show affection and be comfortable. Michael Bonner, I don't know what I should do. Hey, Marlon. Um, do I think that men are afraid to approach me? I have heard that I was unapproachable. I have always been put in the homeboy category, and I dress like this, I look like this, but I have been placed in a "that's my girl" category. And then if I do start dating, one of those people who put me in "that's my girl" category, they'll be like, "I didn't know you was dating," or "I didn't know," like it would be such a surprise to them. It would be such a surprise to them that that I would date, or either that I was single. And it was like, and I'm like, "Well, you put me in a friend zone." So yes, I do. I don't think they're afraid to approach. I don't know. I don't like to use the word afraid. I don't know. So they just don't approach me. I don't know if they're afraid. I don't know if I don't know. I be thinking that most of them have women, so that's probably why they don't say anything to me. Thank you, Vanilla. Vanilla, maybe I'm mentally too strong sometime. Eugene, hello. It might be hard for men to approach you because of the aurora and your personality. My personality is big. I have a really, really big personality. I go out a lot by myself, but I am a social butterfly. So I do float the room. You bring the whole table and you invite me to the table. And I don't mind a man bringing the whole table. I don't mind bringing it. I'll bring your napkins. I'll bring your dessert, whatever the hell you want, because that doesn't bother me. And I'm not the kind of woman. Now, don't get me wrong. I got a table, but that to me is um, not necessary for me to feel like I have to match what you have. Jacob said, "Ha ha ha. You know why you may be unapproachable? Because you've been single for a minute. So you may give that alpha energy." I do give the alpha energy. Um, and I would love to try to reset it. And Vonda, I am approachable, very approachable. And I have a strong personality, Michael. And I would love, Jacob, I would love to hit the reset button. But you're talking about, I was a single mother and I had two children. And I was raised in a home with drug addicted parents. Um, with drug addicted parents. And I felt like there was more love that could have been offered in my home. Now, don't get me wrong, my mom was the best she could be with what her habits were. My daddy was garbage, but he was there. My stepdad, should I say, but he was there. But to even try to expose my kids to any, and being I was raised up, we were like one of the biggest families in the city. Um, when I was this high, I was taking plane trips across the world carrying drugs, stuff like that. So it was so much of my life that I wouldn't want my kids to ever imagine. And for some reason, those are the type of people I was attracted to. So I wouldn't bring them around my kids. So I had to do a lot of stuff in my house by myself, pay my bills by myself. Maybe somebody helped me, every now and then, but it wasn't that I would bring them around my kids. So almost, I did a lot of years of being single, or either a lot of years with me running my household and not listening, or not, I had to get a weaker man, because if you show me too much dominance, that probably interfered with my kids, um me and my kids relationship. But sometimes a man should interfere with a woman and their kids relationship, not in a bad way, but us mothers sometimes cater too much to our kids, then they grow up to be like buttholes. But anyway, you are approachable. I think you look like a person that likes to laugh. Man, Vonda, tell him I laugh all day. Hey, man, P, I laugh all day. I'm a jokester. I joke a lot, but a lot of times people don't know when I'm joking. But I do joke a lot. And once you get to know me, once you love me, you love me. There's no in between. There's either love or not love. Love, it doesn't matter how long you've been single or what you've been through, because love is timeless and ageless. If there's room for pain, there's room for love. Can't feel pain without love. I truly feel you, Jacob. I truly feel you, and I don't even have to elaborate. I felt it. I feel it. What's crazy about it is that you seem like you're approachable. That's the vibe I get from you. I remember you when you were on Country Wayne videos. I actually thought you and Country Wayne were dating. Ooh, no. He's so much younger than I am. And I don't date outside of my age. I am 51. I'll be 52 next month. And I think the lowest I'll go is like 47. Like that might be the lowest I go, like 47 to 60. You know what I mean? 47 to 60. Because I want a man that could still, run the race. I'm fairly young in spirit, young in health, young in a lot of things I do, young in the way I dress. So I want him to be able to flow with me, but I do want to have conversations that he can relate to. I want to listen to music that he can relate to. I want our children to be grown, because I can't, I ain't about to make no babies. I really don't want to take care of nobody babies. So that's why I kind of try to stick to my age thing. Let me see. You should be alpha, but I understand. You shouldn't be alpha. I shouldn't be alpha. I don't want to be. Um, and I don't know if I was pushed to be strong or I pushed myself to be strong. Like nobody made me like this. No, nobody made me like this. Like I forget who it was that just said everything that happened to me was my fault because I allowed it. So I allowed it. And I don't really too much believe in horoscopes, but I am an Aries, and that's the Ram. So I do have that fire. I have that that I have that. Um I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but no one is garbage. You may not have liked his ways, but he's still a human being. Who did I call garbage? Oh, my dad. So, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. My word choice is still stands. It's still garbage. Because what I seen as for a man, if it was my son being the way he was, my son would be garbage. My stepdad beat my mom. My stepdad did things that was totally um mind blowing, and like things that I couldn't even repeat, things that I couldn't even repeat. You know what I mean? It's the things we seen as a child, and just like someone just said to me that I allowed the things in, so my mother allowed these things in. You know what I mean? So I think, when we say society made me strong, I think that I didn't want to be a statistic. I seen what my mom went through. I seen her being addicted to drugs, so I never did drugs, and I was afraid of alcohol. I'm not gonna say I don't drink, but very rarely would you catch me drinking because I'm scared of the addictive nature that I might have in me. So things that happened in my childhood, I just was so afraid to allow them to happen. If a man raises his voice at me, if he looks like he's too angry, or I'm gone, because I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it with my siblings. One of my sisters, she was a victim of domestic violence for years. So it's things that I've seen. And if you straighten up your ways and you decided, okay, the things I did when I was younger, when I beat your mom, or if you felt in any way that you wanted to be a better person, you wanted to change, then okay, maybe you're not garbage. But if you ask him to this day, is there anything you would change? And that man say no, and he know you've been with him since he was 6 months old, and there was nothing you would change, you would continue on in that same behavior? No, garbage. I said what I said. So yeah, so that's the story with him, and I'm sticking to it. But listen, when I say all that about him, as far as the being garbage, to this day, he has me as his healthcare surrogate, and I'm his stepdaughter. But I take him food to eat. I give him money when he needs money. I call him and check on him. Like, I still do these things because when my mother passed away, she said, "Hey, take care of Pops." And I told her I'd take care of him, but he better make it easy. So I told my dad, make it easy. Like, make it easy on me. But he didn't make it that easy. But I still do. So even with me saying garbage, please forgive my word choice if that bothers you. But yeah, dude was garbage. Yeah, that's what he was. Um, don't let these men make you feel like you need to reset. You are your own on your own journey, and stick to your strength. Vonda, about to address that. Marlon said, "I love Queen with a sense of humor. Nobody likes angry all the time. I can tell you have a great sense of humor. I love you, Nora. I love you too, Vonda." So, Avonda, when you say don't let these men tell me that I need to reset, they're not. I went on Facebook earlier, and in in my own sense, I know I need to reset. I know I need to reset. I know there's some things that need to be changed. I know I need to fix my mindset. Um, right now, I'm in the process of finding purpose at 52. So that's a problem. So yes, I have to do some mindset reconstruction in this thing, because as I grow in Christ, everything should grow. My mind shouldn't always be the same. So to actually do like a little factory reset, it won't hurt nothing right now. But that's by my own choice. These men are just saying what they say. You let them talk, girl. But yeah, so I could deal with a reset. The lowest you would go is 47. I made the cut. um, You'll be 52 this coming June. That's what's up. 73, baby. Tony is 60, February 27th. Oh, you got a birthday coming up on Thursday. Happy birthday, Tony. Happy birthday to that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. Happy birthday, Tony. Um, see, the right man will come along that will approach you with a different energy that will make you feel safe the moment he approaches you. Oh, let me copy that. That's hot, Jacob. I'm copying it. I like that because I believe it. Um, Michael, I believe it's trauma as well. I do believe it's trauma. Um, but the thing about it being trauma is I um I get out. I get out. So I don't let trauma marinate in my spirit as far as to be mean or to be some type of way. But as a child and as a girlfriend, because I've never been married, but as a girlfriend, I have been proposed to. But as a girlfriend, I was traumatized. Heartbreaks are traumatizing to me when I give myself, and a lot of times it's hard for me to give myself, but when I give myself and yeah, so yeah, trauma played a big part. I would appreciate your response to my complaint. You seem to be a woman with great self-esteem and know what you want. I respect you to the fullest. Calvin, what was your complaint? I appreciate you responding to my complaints. Oh, okay. Don't go back, Nora. How you feel is how you feel, and that platform can't change you. Vonda, you have very objective and honest. You are very objective and honest. Well, from listening to what you've been through, that will cause a woman to become dominant. I believe you're protecting yourself. Just looking in from the outside. I believe so too, Raquel. Did I say that right? Right, right. Friend of God. I believe so too. And I don't want to be in protective mode all the time. But it just feels like that's what I've been. But I don't want to be. That's why I wouldn't mind resetting if there was possibly a reset button that I could push. Knowledge of self. Your character was garbage to your younger. His character was garbage to your younger life. It really was, Vonda. It really was. Have a wonderful night. You too, Joshua. God bless you. 7/22/71. That's when you were born. Happy birthday. Oh no, it ain't your birthday, but when your birthday come, happy birthday anyway. Good will come. Don't settle. You're the best. Thank you. Um, Thank you, gorgeous Nora. I appreciate the singing happy birthday because it's your birthday. It's your birthday. Go, Tony. It's your birthday. Eh. That's it. That's it. I'll do it again. I'll find some other song. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, all that. So any way I can sing it, Tony, is the way I'm singing it to you tonight. Happy birthday, baby. Happy birthday. Avonda, when hold on, haha, Avonda Barnes, when I made a suggestion for the reset, it's cause it's part of healing for one's growth. Exactly. Not for me or to tell someone to change who they are, but improve that part of life. Jacob, I'm with you. Vonda with you too. Vonda just territorial about me. She love her some Nora. So Vonda gonna get y'all up off of me. When I tell y'all, Vonda gonna make sure y'all ain't on me. So yeah, so Vonda, she hear me and she take up for me and she feel like I'm doing the setback. So y'all don't pay Vonda no attention. She'll call me tomorrow and tell me about it. But no, some things I do have to change, Vonda. Um, do you feel that all what you have accomplished have made you this type of person with this type of personality? So I'm going to say, not to downplay my accomplishments, but what I have accomplished has been totally with God. I mean, everything, rather big or small, that I have accomplished, it was all dictated by God. You know what I mean? Like some of the things that I've done in life, nobody but God could have did it. It really had nothing to do with my might or power. It was God. It was God. It just that's all I could say, because I could just sit back and look over my life and be like, how in the hell did I do it? But I know it wasn't my own. It wasn't by my own. It wasn't. You see that old school in me? Anybody that snap their fingers, you know they old school. So yeah, I'm real old school. Tony, I'm silly as hell now. Uh, Ibanzi, Ibanzi. Did I say that right? Um, now I ain't breaking no heart. I ain't breaking no heart, but I'm telling y'all, when it's time for me to go, I ain't wasting no time. Like, I don't know, I probably left some stuff early, but when it's time for me to go, I am not gonna sit around. You can't tell me you don't want me, but this man told me he didn't want me one time, y'all, and that girl, that hurt me. He told me he didn't want me, and he was going to a class, told me that I was only good for recreational purposes. We were living together, y'all. I had moved in the house with him. And Lord knows, when he told me he didn't want me, it don't take you but one time to tell me you don't want me. Act like you don't want me. I don't never want to be nowhere I ain't want it. If I got to cry, if I got to lose weight, if I got to lose sleep, I'm going to do it all, but I'm going to be gone when I do it. I'm going to leave. But he told me that, and he went to the class. He had a class to go to, and it was a drug class. He was going to this drug class because he's so dope, and that's another story. But when he told me that, he went to his class, and I went and got some jugs off the corner, and I asked them to come move my stuff out the house. I told them I had to be out the house. I had 2 hours to move. And I got everything that belonged to me out that house in 2 hours because he said he didn't want me. You don't got to tell me but one time. I'm never going to be nowhere I'm not wanted. And ladies, if y'all on here, don't be nowhere y'all not wanted. What's my favorite scripture? Psalm 46:5. God is within her, she will not fail. That is one of my favorite scriptures. Another one of my scriptures that I like and I try to live by is writing a vision and making it plain. And I also like another one when God said you to be the light. Be the light, and no one can dim your light when you're walking in the light of God. I got to remember that scripture. But yeah, so there's a couple different scriptures that I live by on certain different times. But Psalms 46:5 is my favorite scripture. Jacob, I understand. I feel like she's experienced this part of her as a woman. I feel like she has. I feel like you have her back. Okay. Calvin, Nora, do you think real love exists in a relationship? I do. I think real love exists in a relationship. And I think real love is actually the Corinthians type love. Let me pull up the Corinthians type love, because people don't understand that what we say love is these days. Hold on. What we say love is these days. What is that? This is 3-7. This is NIV version. Read this, but I'm gonna read it to y'all. But do I think love really exists? So this is what Corinthians says it is. And I ain't this type of person to bring scripture out, but this is what Corinthians says love is. And you tell me, does this type of love exist, or can it exist? Not that it doesn't exist, but can it exist? Love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for self. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Um, love doesn't strut. Love doesn't get a swelled head. Love doesn't force itself on others. Love isn't always me first. It doesn't fly off the handle. Love doesn't keep score of the sin of others. Love doesn't reveal when others grovel. Takes pleasure in the flowering of truth. It puts up with love. Hold on. It don't put up any no, love don't put up with anything. Trust God always. This is the wrong version because love don't put up with anything. I don't think that's how it's worded. But it always looks for the best, never looks back, but keeps going in the end. Love never fails. So I wish I could find a better version of that because that's not a good version. But love doesn't fail. So if that's the message. No, I don't like the message. Let me see. But so yes, I do believe love still exists. And I've seen it exist in a lot of people. And not saying people don't have problems, people don't go through things, but I've seen love exist. And I do believe there's still, I do believe. Tony, it's great to see you smile from what you've been through. Bad times in life. Tony, I can't do nothing but smile. Let me tell you about my smile, Tony. Tony, I like you tonight. Tony, we here. Me and you here tonight, Tony. So, Tony, I don't know if you can see it, but right here, I got a cut in my face. Okay. And that same guy who told me he didn't want me, that's who got me cut up. He paid some women to cut me up, bastard. But I got a cut in my face, and the doctors told me I had 37 stitches here. I had 5 going down, straight down. They had to sew down through my head. But I got beat up so bad that my face was really unrecognizable. And to the point where they said I would never smile again. That's what they said. That's what them doctors said. They said I would never smile again because it hit a major nerve. They said, Nora, we can go in there and we can cut um, both ends of your nerves, and we can try to connect your nerve to hold on, y'all. My phone dying. Hold on. Let me get a charger. Let me find the charger, y'all. I got it. Hold on. All right, y'all. Here we go. We back. But let me try to set this phone. But where was I? Let me find it. The smile. We were talking about the smile. So with me having the smile, um, I don't want to lie to y'all. Hold on. Y'all don't be trying to look at my boobs and stuff. Hold on. But okay, I'm back. So they told me I wouldn't smile again. They said, we can try to do A, B, and C to bring your smile back. I refused to do that. It took about a year for me to actually smile again because they gave me all these. I don't know if you ever pay attention to how I move my face, and I be doing all this kind of stuff because that was an exercise that I had to do in order to train my face to smile again. So now, like if you look, this side of my face isn't as strong on this side because I've always exercised this side because I did so many, exercise muscles to make this side work that now this side of my face, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this side of my face is more, it has more, you know what I mean? This side is getting older. This side, I did some muscle work on it, but I never did the muscle work on this side because I had to get this side. like a melted candle. Like my nose was drooped, my lips was drooped, everything about my face was drooped on one side. So I prayed and I had a conversation with God, and I said, God, if you just allow me to smile again, we won't have this problem. I'll be your child, and I'll make sure that I stay in the way you want me. Y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go. You know why? Because I ain't had no business standing on the phone this long, and now my phone is dying. So I'll be back tomorrow probably. Okay? Talk to y'all later.